Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today, the potential for a tropical wave bringing much rain to parts of Florida. Let's get the latest now from meteorologist John Scalzi. John?
I know, Scott. I have people telling me already it's too soon to even talk about this, but you know it's not, and the reason is because we have a lot of dry, parched land across the region, and the wind speeds have been up, the amount of dried vegetation is high, and so consequently the fire danger index continues to rise across the area, and it doesn't look like there's any more rain in store for us over the next couple of days. The fire danger index in Manatee County and Sarasota County now in the very high category, and a lot of surrounding counties as of today have also been included in the very high category. So rain is necessary. It looks like we may get some as we head into the weekend. Not today, but starting on Saturday, we just might get some. The abnormally dry conditions across our region continue, and so it'd be nice to put a little damper on that, and it may come in the form of a tropical wave out here in the Atlantic. Now, the chances of any kind of development here are not zero, but they are very, very small. As of today, the current forecast for development within 48 hours as of today is about 2%. But the thing is, down the road, beyond 48 hours, there might be a brief window when it could develop into perhaps a tropical depression. But right now, it looks like it's just going to be a tropical wave, but it does look like a wet system that will provide much of South Florida with some fairly decent rainfall. And it is possible, depending on its exact location and track of the core of the moisture, could bring the Suncoast some pretty good rainfall too over a 3-day period, which is good. You want it spread out over a 3-day period so it has time to soak into the ground. So that's good news. We'll see how it actually plays out. Local temperatures today, again, warm. We are headed up toward another very warm day with daytime highs up probably around 89 degrees, which is where we've been for several days in a row now. So the evaporation rates are really high. If you are traveling today, we do have a delay at the LaGuardia Airport of about 23 minutes, and it could become longer than that. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Also happening today, a massive storm drill in South Florida. Florida Power and Light running through a mock hurricane to see what changes need to be made before June 1st when the 2018 hurricane season officially begins. This afternoon in Riviera Beach, FPL employees will simulate their response to a fake Category 3 storm called Hurricane Cobalt. During this drill, employees will discuss the importance of hurricane preparedness and the lessons learned from Hurricane Irma. Employees will also test out technology that they can use during restoration efforts. A first alert traffic update now. Drivers are seeing delays getting onto the I-75 northbound ramp at University Parkway after a semi tipped over there. Crews responding to the scene just before 10:30 this morning. Again, the on-ramp center lane is blocked. No word yet if anyone was hurt. Checking first alert traffic right now in that area. You can see the symbol there, but Interstate 75 is all green and just a little bit of yellow on the map on University Parkway, so not a big impact at this point. Some frightening moments at a facility that provides addiction recovery programs in Sarasota. According to First Step, 8 residents there ingested a drug they believe to be GHB, commonly referred to as a club drug. All of those victims were taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital for treatment. Sheriff's deputies say all 8 quickly became ill from the drug. The mom of one of the victims, who wanted to remain anonymous, says this is something that has happened before.
So things can very easily be brought in if everybody's not, done a search. There is another time my daughter was in First Step a couple years ago. There was also a same type of incident where drugs were brought in.
She also mentioned that she now has to take her daughter to another facility for rehabilitation because it's her second offense at this facility, and as a result was discharged. As for the incident, the sheriff's office is still investigating. In the wake of the Parkland school shooting, Suncoast schools are trying to figure out how to provide better mental health resources to their students. Manatee and Sarasota County schools each given around $1 million from the state to add additional mental health resources. It's all part of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Safety Act. In Manatee County, the district plans to recruit additional psychologists and social workers to expand the teams already in place, and the district will also be adding emotional and social coaches to provide both group and individual counseling sessions. At-home DNA testing kits are one of the hottest products on the market right now, with the number of kits bought online more than doubling last year alone. Tonight, a story you don't want to miss. We'll show you how an ABC7 employee who was adopted at an early age used DNA testing to find his family. Tracking down a name took about 5 months, but meeting for the first time took a lifetime. That first meeting caught on camera.
I was going to say, I thought that was you guys. Hey! First words out of her mouth were, "I remember you," which, wow.
And DNA kind of cuts through all of that ambiguity and connects you to people that you are related to on a DNA level.
Coming up tonight at 6, we'll have the full story of how Chris Milanese found his family. Happening right now overseas, at least 97 people are dead after violent storms tore through India overnight. The damage stems from a dust storm with extremely high winds, which was then followed by strong thunderstorms. Most of the deaths were in rural areas. They died from falling trees and collapsing ceilings and walls. India's Prime Minister tweeted he's saddened by the loss of life and sends his condolences to those families. An update now out of California, where the accused Golden State Killer, Joseph DeAngelo, is due back in court today. We're learning more about his past from the police chief who fired him. ABC's Whit Johnson has a story from Los Angeles.
This morning, accused serial killer Joseph DeAngelo expected back in court. This as Californians now recall just how chillingly close they came to the man prosecutors say is responsible for at least a dozen murders and more than 50 rapes beginning in the mid-70s. His defense attorney attempting to block investigators from collecting more DNA, fingerprints, and photographs from specific parts of his body. DeAngelo's former boss wondering if he could have helped catch the suspected killer more than 30 years ago.
Guilt, some embarrassment, I just wish it could have, been stopped a long time ago.
Retired Auburn Police Chief Nick Willick fired DeAngelo in 1979 for stealing dog repellent and a hammer, saying DeAngelo later filed a lawsuit against the department.
The investigator told me that Joseph had gone to my house one night to kill me. And he said that he walked around the house looking in the windows, but couldn't find my bedroom. A short time after he had been fired, I woke up one morning. My 4-year-old daughter was laying alongside the bed. She said, "Dad, last night there was someone looking in my bedroom window with a flashlight."
Did you think that could have been Joseph DeAngelo outside your home?
No, I did not.
But what he didn't know at the time, that the man he fired would be arrested decades later for brutal crimes he's accused of committing while on the force.
Whit Johnson reporting there. Up to 8 police officers were hurt in an explosion overnight that also set a house on fire in Connecticut. Police say a barn behind the home blew up while a SWAT team was negotiating with a man who had taken his wife hostage. The officers were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It's not known yet if that suspect is in custody, as the negotiations with the man continued this morning even after that explosion. The military confirms 9 people died in that Air National Guard plane crash near Savannah Hilton Head Airport yesterday in Georgia. The plane went down just moments after taking off. All the victims members of Puerto Rico's Air National Guard. You can see the plane banks hard to the left before going down. There are reports that claim the plane was 60 years old and was headed to Arizona to be decommissioned, but that hasn't been confirmed yet.
Airplane specifically participated in Hurricane Maria relief efforts. It was not involved in that type of mission at this time. It was on a training operational mission.
Had this gone down couple hundred feet north or south, we might have hit traffic, or we could have hit any of these big warehouses around here, or any of these businesses, or a gas station. We're fortunate.
Georgia Department of Transportation will inspect train tracks in the area for damage, and officials say some of the roadways could be shut down there for weeks. For more on the latest breaking news across the country and here on the Suncoast, as well as your First Alert weather forecast, we invite you to download our apps. You can find them in your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why vaping is becoming a growing epidemic in our high schools. And an update on the fallout after 2 men were arrested inside a Philadelphia Starbucks.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world. But 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at temperatures across the region that'll generally climb to about 89 degrees by the time we hit 3 p.m. 82 degrees at 7, and we're looking at probably about 72 degrees by the time we get to midnight. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you'll have about 66 degrees, and all through the period we should remain rain-free. So our rain comes perhaps this weekend in the form of an area of low pressure. It's called a tropical wave. We get tons of these during the summer season that move across the Atlantic waters. And this one perhaps will be close enough to us and have enough intact structure to produce some pretty decent rainfalls, particularly in parts of South Florida. Now, there are still some questions as to how its evolution will take place and what will happen with it. Some of the computer models suggest more of a formation once it teams up with a frontal boundary approaching and producing a low pressure area that could enhance rainfall even further over central Florida. Some models don't go with that kind of solution, but all of them do agree that by the time we get to Saturday, we'll see a great increase in moisture over the state of Florida, and it'll feel a lot more humid. That's one of the players that's in the forecast. We have a couple in progress. One, this high pressure ridge, which has been providing us with such stable, dry weather, is going to be replaced by a frontal boundary that'll kind of chip away at it with time. That frontal boundary, of course, producing some possibilities of severe weather again today in parts of Kansas and Nebraska and up into the Ohio Valley. Then this trough of low pressure, that tropical wave that I just pointed out, will be advancing toward the state of Florida, also kind of reducing the strength of this easterly flow that we've had around that high pressure ridge and allowing the sea breeze to build a little stronger, plus injecting moisture into our atmosphere, making it feel kind of humid. So the combination of all those things will provide us with a good chance of seeing some showers around. Our forecast calls for a northeast wind coming in at about 15 later on this afternoon and increasing in strength to about 15 knots. So right now we'll put today dry, tomorrow dry, and then on Saturday moisture increasing, clouding up a little bit, putting in about a 40% chance of rainfall. Same thing on Sunday, and perhaps a slightly better rain chance on Monday as the frontal boundary approaches and moves through. And then once all that happens, we'll get some drier air moving in that'll clear us all out. Scott?
John, thank you. In HealthSmart, we're now learning about the first death from an E. coli outbreak that's linked to romaine lettuce. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says one person has died now in California. More than 120 cases of E. coli linked to romaine lettuce have been reported in 25 states since the outbreak began in March. There have been no cases in Florida yet. Officials say it appears the lettuce is grown in the Yuma, Arizona area. The CDC reminds the public not to serve, sell, or eat any of that lettuce. Plus, seafood lovers may want to avoid raw oysters from British Columbia in Canada. California's Department of Health says nearly 100 people got sick after eating them, and it's possible other states received the oysters as well. Nearly 200 cases of stomach issues linked to consuming raw oysters were reported in Canada. Health officials say people who eat shellfish should cook them until the internal temperature reaches at least 145 degrees. And a new warning for parents now about vaping. One teen is now taking a stand and raising a red flag, worried it's becoming a bigger problem in his community. Here's ABC's Deborah Roberts.
All of the people in my grade started using it.
This eye-opening video shining a light on the teen use of e-cigarettes, or what's called juuling, derived from the popular brand name Juul.
It's just a part of my life now that, I know it's bad, but I can't stop.
17-year-old Jack Waxman produced it to raise awareness about what he fears has become a big problem with many teens in his community.
You couldn't be caught dead with a cigarette right now if you're a teenager, but with juuling, it's cool to juul.
The Juul, a trendy vape pen, heats up liquid nicotine that users inhale and has capsules or pods that come in a variety of flavors, like cool mint and fruit medley, each containing about as much nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. The flavorful pods seemingly attractive to teen users.
These flavors are drawing them in, and then the nicotine is forcing them to stay.
A recent study says an estimated 3 million U.S. adolescents currently use e-cigarettes, including those who never smoked.
Some of my friends have tried using cigarettes, and it's because they have been juuling, because they're so used to juuling that they just think it's okay to use cigarettes.
I want to stop, but the habit of juuling is just so intense.
My parents didn't know until I got caught, and I just kept using it.
The student school telling ABC News it's aware of the unfortunate trend, adding that what started as small has turned out to be a growing problem. As for Juul, it says the product was made exclusively for adults looking to quit smoking and is investing $30 million to independent research and youth and parent education, telling ABC News, "We cannot be more emphatic on this point. No young person or non-nicotine user should ever try Juul."
The more people that know about this problem, the more people can take action, and from there we can really make change.
All right, time for lunch now. Let's get over to the kitchen and say hello to Chef Mark Alton, who's joining us today from Finn's at Sharky's in Venice, right on the beach there. Beautiful spot. Mark, great to have you back in our kitchen today. What are you fixing for us?
Today we're going to do a swordfish au poivre, which, believe it or not, it's only the 1st of May, but we're getting ready for our Savor Sarasota promotion. And this is going to be one of the dishes we're going to be featuring on that Price Fix menu.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity.
One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Welcome back. A follow-up now in a case that sparked outrage across the country. Two men who were arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks have now reached a settlement with the company and the city. Here's ABC's Robin Roberts.
What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me? Yes, I didn't know. Well, what did they do? What did they do?
This is the video that's gone viral.
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
Now counting over 11 million views after two black men, Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson, were arrested inside a Philadelphia Starbucks store on April 12th. The incident sparking outrage and protests nationwide over racial profiling.
Who's bidding? My city!
Starbucks acting swiftly, issuing an apology. CEO Kevin Johnson telling us on GMA that the company plans to focus on increased training to avoid a situation like this in the future.
I'd say there's training, more training that we're going to do with our store managers, not only around the guidelines, but training around unconscious bias.
Starbucks announced that they would shut down their stores May 29th for an unconscious bias training day. The company also announcing an agreement was made with Dante and Rashawn, which it says includes a confidential financial settlement as well as a commitment to continued listening and dialogue between the parties as a means toward developing specific actions and opportunities.
That's Robin Roberts reporting. Let's head over to the kitchen now. John is there with our friend Chef Mark Alton from Fins at Sharky's in Venice. John?
Thank you, Scott. I was just thinking, Mark, we were probably one of the first chefs we've ever had on this show, and you probably, how many years have you been doing this?
It's been quite a while. I think both of us probably had a little bit less gray hair back then.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
And a little bit less around the waist as well, I should imagine.
It's part of my job.
You're looking better than
part of my job. I got to eat.
There you go. Speaking of eating, this is a dish I'm really interested in because I have had problems personally cooking swordfish.
Okay.
So you're going to teach me how.
Well, I'm going to try. So we're going to do poivre styles today. So I've got salt and a little bit of cracked black pepper I'm putting right onto the fish. And then we're going to sear it in the pan.
A poivre is a French style meaning with pepper.
Right. Indeed. So that's going to sear probably on that side for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll flip it over and start making our sauce. Because 3 to 4 minutes is about all the time we have. I got a couple pieces here ready to go.
So 3 to 4 minutes per side, that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to add some shallots to this, and we're going to make the sauce right in the pan now. Depending upon how well done you like your fish, you may take it out now, you may leave it in. I got some pink peppercorns, which are not actually true peppers at all. They're like fruity seeds, related to the Brazilian peppers that we have around here, but not exactly the same thing.
I'll be darned. Never knew that.
Green peppercorns in brine. And they saute, kind of toast those in there, brings out more of their flavor. Then we're going to hit this with a little bit of cognac.
And if you have a gas stove, I suppose you should be careful doing that, because that could happen.
That's the fun part that we all like right there. I'm going to finish this sauce with a little bit of whole grain Dijon mustard.
Nice.
Juice from some lemon.
You have what they call cook's hands, I can see. Impervious to flame, it seems like.
Couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, that smells so good. Unbelievable.
And now I need my cream, which I think we put away.
Oh. Do we have cream over there? Sous chef, got it? Bingo. Perfect.
What's that?
Oh, that was so good.
And then we finish that, let that sauce reduce just a little bit. A little bit of parsley for color, and a pat of butter to enrich the sauce and make it even more flavorful.
And you say this is going to be on one of your Savor Sarasota menu items?
Starting in June, the county-wide promotion, and this will be one of our price fix menus.
Now, I noticed you were poking the fish from time to time. What can you tell by doing that?
By how firm it is, I can tell how well done it is.
Really? And what do you want it to be for that kind of fish?
Medium on swordfish at least, 145 degrees.
Medium,
yeah.
okay.
But
not rare?
No, it's not. I don't enjoy the texture of it rare.
Okay.
It doesn't make a good sushi fish.
Okay.
If you're curious over here, we have the two pieces that this one's cooked and this one's not.
Oh, do you mind if I...
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, it's a little firmer, right?
Yep.
Interesting.
And then we'll plate this up here. For the side dishes on this, I have a smoked mushroom and Gouda cheese and mashed potato.
And while you plate that up, I'll just remind everybody that the recipe for this on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there with Mark's instructions and all the information on the Savor Sarasota menu that he's got coming up. Look how beautiful that looks. Oh man, I cannot wait to grab myself a fork and tuck in.
There you go.
Mark, thank you so much. Fins and Sharkies, appreciate it.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Always a pleasure. We'll be right back.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
When money's tight and emergencies arise, CashNetUSA.com is available 24/7 to deliver quick loans for approved customers when they need it the most.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
All of a sudden, we heard some kind of explosion.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast, weekdays on ABC 7.
There are 2 alarm fire that our Marla Spence was called out on.
Crews are still on scene. We're going to continue to work on this story and find out more on what causes fire.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Coming up, what President Trump is saying after his new lawyer opens up about the Stormy Daniels payout. Plus, why the woman accused of killing her husband before trying to steal a woman's identity will be back in a Florida courtroom today. And tell you about a local Suncoast teen who's raising money for pediatric cancer research.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30, a shocking admission by the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, revealing that President Trump reimbursed his personal attorney for the payment to a porn star for her silence about an alleged affair. This all happening just days before the 2016 election. ABC's Tara Palmieri is in Washington.
One of the newest members to join the president's legal team dropping a bombshell. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani revealing that President Trump paid back his personal attorney Michael Cohen for the $130,000 hush agreement he made with porn star Stormy Daniels just weeks before the 2016 election. Telling Fox News,
funneled through law firm and the president repaid it.
Completely contradicting the president's earlier claim to reporters on Air Force One that he was not aware of the payments.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael?
Shortly after the interview, Giuliani told the Washington Post that the president authorized him to contradict his earlier statements. This morning, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders had nothing to add.
There's ongoing litigation. I'm not going to be able to comment no matter how many times you guys ask
Sarah,
me.
the president has... The reversal seems intended to show the president didn't break a campaign finance law. That is by not reporting Cohen's payment to the porn star just weeks before the 2016 election as a campaign contribution.
Sorry, I'm giving you a fact now that you don't know. It's not campaign money. No campaign finance violation.
But legal analysts say the admission by Giuliani could actually expose Mr. Trump to more legal trouble. That's if his reimbursement to Cohen is determined to have been an unreported contribution by Trump himself.
One thing that's not subjective is Michael Loan did this. It's a loan to Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not report that on his financial disclosure. That's another vulnerability as well.
If it's determined to be a loan. If it's determined to be a loan, and you don't know that that's what it would be.
The president denied the affair with Daniels for the first time this morning, tweeting, "The agreement was used to stop false and extortionist accusations made by her about an affair." Echoing Giuliani, he also said that campaign money was not used to pay back Cohen. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
Rudy Giuliani also says North Korea is making plans to release U.S. prisoners. An official with knowledge of the ongoing negotiations telling CNN their release is, quote, imminent, but could not confirm reports the Americans have already been moved from a correctional facility into a Pyongyang hotel. The trio were imprisoned separately over the last 2 years after being accused of espionage. Cambridge Analytica is shutting down. Controversial data firm that worked on President Trump's 2016 campaign closing its doors for good. They also came under scrutiny after Facebook said the firm used information of millions of Facebook users without their knowledge. The closure announcement claims negative media coverage, and the controversy drove away its customers and suppliers. The company has denied any wrongdoing, saying in the statement it has confidence that its employees have acted ethically and lawfully. A developing story now involving several Washington Redskins cheerleaders. They told the New York Times they were forced to pose topless in front of male sponsors on a trip to Costa Rica. Some also say they were sent out as personal escorts with those male sponsors. The cheerleaders claim it happened back in 2013 when the organization took the Redskins cheerleaders on a trip to Costa Rican resort for a calendar photo shoot. This is just the latest allegation from NFL cheerleaders in recent months. 2 former NFL cheerleaders on other teams, including a Suncoast woman, have filed discrimination complaints that included allegations of a hostile work environment and that they were used as sex objects to incite male fans. Well, we're just 4 weeks away now from hurricane season, and Florida power companies want to make sure things run smoother during and after this year's storms. A 2-day meeting is underway where power companies and state regulators are going over what they could do better this year. Duke Energy officials say there are many lessons that can be learned following any major storm.
There is no way that we can prevent all power outages, but we do want to make sure that we make the investment so that we can minimize those outages for customers, and certainly whenever the service goes out, that we're there to get the power back on as soon as possible.
One of the biggest complaints by customers the companies hoped to address was the lack of communication by utility companies, especially when it came to letting people know when they would get their power back on. Speaking of hurricanes, Manatee County, one of few counties in Florida getting a large amount of money from FEMA following Hurricane Irma. FEMA says it will give more than $50 million statewide, including $1 million to Manatee County. That money will go toward funding the Manatee County Sheriff's Office for future emergency response. And meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now with our first alert weather. And yeah, we're not hurricane season yet, but we're getting awfully close, aren't we?
We're getting awfully close. We're starting to pick up little tropical waves that move across the water. We're talking about water temperatures now that are running a couple of degrees above the average. So yeah, things are heating up. It's certainly not impossible that by the end of May we'd see another system develop, a named system. Alberta would be the first named system. Right. Not impossible. Rare, but not impossible. So we are looking at some pretty dry conditions across our region again today. Lakewood Ranch webcam shows that blue sky out there to start the morning, followed by a few fair weather clouds kind of rolling on in as we head into the last few hours of the loop here. And for today, you noticed how flat those clouds are and how absent really large-scale cloud masses are across the peninsula. That's what we're going to see today, dry conditions. But your eye is undoubtedly drawn to the Atlantic with a large cluster of clouds out there. Surface observations that I checked this morning continue to show that there's no surface low-pressure area there. This is kind of an upper-level feature at the present time. Plenty of moisture associated with that system, though, which would really benefit us in terms of producing a few showers. But Titan radar right now very quiet across the entire state, and so it will be, I think, through the remainder of the day. Temperatures generally hugging the low 80s right now, on their way to probably topping out around 88, 89 degrees. We'll go with 89 for a daytime high temperature today around 3 p.m. And no rain in the forecast as we get into the low 70s by midnight tonight. Scott?
John, thank you. A new school is being built in Manatee County, and some parents are concerned about the safety of its students. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is outside that school board meeting where the discussion has been going on for several hours now. Taylor?
Good afternoon, Scott. Today, the locals' biggest concern about building this North County elementary school was safety. They also say that building in this location will cause a major issue with traffic. We heard from about half a dozen people who spoke out during the Manatee County meeting today. Some voiced concerns about children's safety, saying the visibility of this location would put the children at risk. The commissioners responded that even if they did disapprove of this project, they don't have the authority to stop it. One woman tells us she lives in the Copperstone neighborhood nearby. She has major concerns that this school will cause a lot of congestion near her entrance.
I'm thrilled to be getting a new school, but I am not thrilled the way they want to run the traffic pattern into the development of Copperstone. With today's issues and safety of schools, we need to think about how we are letting cars, parents, and citizens into our schools.
Now, the meeting is still going on inside. Now they're talking more about the details of actually building this school. Tonight we'll have an update for you about the end of this meeting and also hear from more of those concerned neighbors. I'm live in Bradenton. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
The woman accused of killing 2 people, including a Bradenton woman, before trying to steal her identity, is expected to be back in court this afternoon. New court documents show Lois Reese tried to cover up Pamela Hutchinson's murder earlier this year. Authorities found Hutchinson's body in a Fort Myers Beach hotel with a towel placed over her body and one placed under the door to try to seal the room shut. Reese remains in the Lee County Jail in Fort Myers facing second-degree murder, grand theft, and identity theft charges. A Monroe County man is in trouble after allegedly slapping the water near a group of mating manatees. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says Luis Perez is being charged with harassment after a police officer recorded Perez with a cell phone splashing and making noise. Perez now faces that second-degree misdemeanor charge. Florida Department of Corrections officials say the budget passed this year by lawmakers falls $50 million short for prisoner health care and medicines. The department is being forced to cut services like substance abuse treatment and prisoner reentry programs. Mental health and substance abuse services for offenders on probation or parole will also be slashed by $9 million, and prisoners in separate facilities for drug abuse therapy will be switched into less expensive work release programs to save another $6 million. City of Venice is continuing to look into new ambulance options. The city fire department and Sarasota County have shared those responsibilities for 20 years now. However, the Venice City Council wants to see other options, including starting its own ambulance service.
The system works. But we're just looking to see if there's an enhancement or improvement on that. We may, after our study, find out that this is the best situation for us and may continue to run status quo.
If the city decides to start its own EMS, it will still take about 3 years to begin that service. If you missed out on taking home a tree for Arbor Day, there's still more of those trees left. 100 free trees are available for City of Sarasota residents. The Community Canopy Program offering 1 free tree per household in the city while those supplies last. They're even offering free delivery to your home. 5 Florida-friendly species are available. They include red maple and beautiful Sweet Bay magnolia trees. For information on how to register for one of those free trees, just go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and look for this story. Next week is the 13th annual Dick Vitale fundraiser for pediatric cancer research. 18-year-old Kyle Peters says Vitale was so good to him when he was recovering from brain cancer several years ago. He began his own fundraiser for Vitale at Riverview High School. Peters says the annual gala at the Ritz-Carlton helped him and dozens of other young people feel less alone while enduring cancer and the painful recovery process.
He was a really big confidence booster for a lot of kids going through treatment, and this gala is a really good way of just giving the kids the spotlight that they need during tough situations.
Vitale hopes to raise $3.5 million at next Friday's gala, which will bring the 13-year total to about $25 million. Tonight at 6, ABC 7's Ray Collins will tell us what Vitale told Kyle's parents about contacting him. In 26 seasons of Tampa Bay Lightning hockey, the team has only won less than 10 times in Boston. The Bolts and the Bruins meeting last night in Game 3 of the best-of-7 series. The Lightning strike early. Andre Palat finds the net off the pass from Tyler Johnson, and less than 2 minutes later, Palat would score again, this time redirecting Victor Hedman's shot. The fast start set the tone for the Bolts, who dominated in Boston last night. Lightning winning the game 4-1, giving Tampa a 2-1 lead in this second-round series. Game 4 is set for Friday night back in Boston. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how Uber is bringing food from local restaurants right to your front door.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at MySuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So let's talk a little bit more about that tropical wave. Right now we have a big ridge of high pressure sitting over the state of Florida, protecting us from rain showers. But this tropical wave will chip away at that and allow for more moisture to enter into our atmosphere, both at lower levels and upper levels, and set the stage for perhaps some decent rainfall as we head into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and maybe even some parts of Tuesday as well. Right now, the system has no real structure that indicates a surface circulation. All reconnaissance from satellite and from ground stations not showing that. And the chance of it developing over the next 48 hours is really tiny, but 2% according to some computer models, so not very good. The question is whether or not with time, as this system moves a little bit closer to us, beyond Saturday and into Sunday, whether we might get a circulation that would classify it as a perhaps tropical depression or even a named system, highly unlikely. But the chances of that are pretty low. What the chances are pretty good for is rainfall, and that we may get. Now, the big question is, as we head into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday particularly, whether or not this system will be more toward the Gulf or more toward the Atlantic. That'll have a large impact on exactly how much rainfall we will eventually get, so we'll be watching that pretty carefully. Right now, the water temperatures out here are very conducive for any kind of formation to sustain itself with temperatures in the 80s, and the available moisture for rain will most certainly increase. In this model here, redder is wetter, and as we head into the weekend, you can see how that humid air just arrives here on the Suncoast and allows for rain showers to develop. So we'll put in some pretty decent rain shower chances over the course of the next couple of days. North wind switching to the east, coming in at about 15, breezy this afternoon. Watch for that, particularly if you're a boater. Moderate chop anticipated. 89 today, 89 tomorrow. Dry conditions today and tomorrow. Then Saturday, we start to moisten things up. We get a chance of rainfall in the afternoon. Not an all-day rain, but a chance of rainfall. Another rain chance on Sunday. Perhaps a better rain chance on Monday, and then everything starts to dry out as the system departs. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In consumer news, the Subway restaurant chain is getting a new CEO, and the popular Movie Pass offer is changing its policy. ABC 7's Stephanie Webb has today's business headlines.
When KFC runs out of chicken, profits take a hit. Shares of Yum! Brands, parent company of KFC, fell more than 5% after slower than expected sales growth. Now, part of the blame, delivery problems that forced hundreds of restaurants to close in Great Britain and Ireland back in February. Shares of Spotify also falling after its first earnings report as a public company. Now, they were down about 7%, even as the streaming music company announced that it now has 75 million paying subscribers. That's almost twice as many as Spotify's next closest competitor, Apple Music. Subway is going to need a new head. CEO Suzanne Grieco is now set to retire at the end of June. She took over the sandwich shop company after her brother, founder Fred DeLuca, died 3 years ago. And $10 a month can once again let you see a movie every day. MoviePass has brought back their unlimited plan after pulling the deal off its website last month. It had been replaced by a plan that let subscribers see just one movie a week. The company admits it has been losing money since last August. With your business headlines, Stephanie Webb, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Stephanie. You can now get dinner without leaving your couch. Uber Eats is offering, now operating in Bradenton. Starting today, you can order food to your door using Uber Eats app. Nearly 50 local and national restaurant chains are participating. Sarasota, you don't have to leave your couch either. Uber Eats is also available there. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why Meghan Markle's half-brother is warning Prince Harry it's not too late to call off the royal wedding.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me. Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
In entertainment news, actor Donald Glover is showing off the iconic Millennium Falcon from Star Wars, and Avengers has already surpassed Justice League at the box office. Rick Damigella has today's Hollywood Minute.
But this does put a smile on my face.
Thanos defeats the Justice League. The Wrap reports Avengers Infinity War surpassed the global box office total of the Justice League movie in just 6 days. According to Box Office Mojo, Justice League made just shy of $658 million worldwide. By Monday of this week, Infinity War blew past that, hitting the $725 million mark.
There's something happening here.
Hulu is happening. The streaming service has announced it now has over 20 million subscribers in the U.S. and revealed its award-winning series The Handmaid's Tale has been renewed for a 3rd season.
Everyone's got a theory how it started. About Castle Rock's original sin.
Hulu also released a new teaser for Castle Rock. The anthology series from Stephen King and J.J. Abrams premieres July 25th.
Hey, I'm Donald Glover, and this is the Millennium Falcon.
Forget the Force, the cool is strong with this one. Donald Glover plays intergalactic scoundrel Lando Calrissian in Solo, a Star Wars story. Lucasfilm has released a video of Glover giving a tour of the Millennium Falcon. Lando has style.
But I think the coolest part of this entire ship is in here. The Cape Room.
Solo, a Star Wars story arrives May 25th. From a galaxy far, far away, I'm Rick Damigella.
Even before Deadpool 2 hits theaters, the star of the popular series says there probably won't be a 3rd installment. Actor Ryan Reynolds spoke with Entertainment Weekly and said he's unsure Deadpool 3 will ever happen. And Reynolds says he sees Deadpool as part of a possible X-Force spin-off series based on the comics of the same name, but doesn't think Deadpool can carry an entire trilogy. For now, we'll just have to wait and see and enjoy the sequel, which is set to open on May 18th. Plus, a potential bombshell just weeks before the royal wedding. In an open letter given exclusively to In Touch Weekly magazine, Meghan Markle's estranged half-brother, Thomas Markle, told Prince Harry it's not too late to cancel the wedding to Meghan. He said their family is upset that most of them are not invited to the royal wedding. And Thomas even called his sister a, quote, jaded, shallow, conceited woman that will make a joke of you and the royal family heritage. I think it's safe to say his invite will not be coming in the mail anytime soon. Here's what is sure to be the best way to watch the royal wedding. Will Ferrell and Molly Shannon are reprising their roles as news anchors Cord and Tish for HBO. They'll be covering the royal wedding live. You may remember the two calling the Rose Bowl parade for the website Funny or Die earlier this year. In the first promo for the event, Cord says he already has stress odor over the event and that there will be more luxury packed into that church than in all the Bed Bath & Beyonds combined. Should be fun to watch there. Finally, an animal from the Ice Age has been unearthed in a Utah family's backyard. It's a rare skeleton of an ancient horse. The family was working on a landscaping project when they found it. Paleontologists believe it's some type of ancient Shetland pony, but they don't know how it got there. Only the head is missing, and experts say the horse was covered quickly because the bones are perfectly intact. Now it's a piece of ancient history for anyone to enjoy and learn from now. Right in their backyard. That's pretty cool.
Backyard.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if their backyard has been declared an archaeological site and they, you know, can't touch it any longer.
It's not going to be a garden now.
Not going to be a garden, no. Might not even be able to mow. Who knows?
That's true.
Kind of cool, though. Great for the kids. So we are watching, again, a dry day today, but a chance of some pretty good rainfall over a 3 or 4 day period as we head into the weekend. Bob will have more on that at 5.
Okay, thanks, John. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you later.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Hey kids, come learn baseball from the pros. The Bradentons Marauders are hosting baseball camp on June 5th, 6th, and 7th at Lecom Park. Boys and girls ages 6 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of hitting, pitching, and fielding from Marauders coaches and players at Lecom Park. Your camp fee includes a t-shirt, lunch daily, and 1 ticket to the Marauders games on these nights. To sign up, go to BradentonMarauders.com by May 14th. Sponsored by ABC7, your Suncoast News.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.